Hi, this is Phil Burgess from Viking Strength TV. I'm here in Bradenton, USA for World's Strongest Man 2019, and I'm here with Sigfus Fossdal from Iceland, who is one of the Icelandic competitors, alongside Hafthor Bjornsson. So, Sigfus, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for asking.
Good stuff. So is this your first World's Strongest Man?
Yeah, this is the first World's Strongest Man I've been to, and but it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
It's been 20 years since I said I was going.
Yeah.
But I spent some time in powerlifting because it went well.
Yeah.
And I was doing pretty well there for a while, so it was pretty hard to leave it behind.
Okay.
But then I had a sort of, in 2015 I decided to, I was a bit tired of it, so I wanted to try the strongman for real.
Do you think with the likes of Brian Shaw and Thor, do you think that there's a lot of a burden, there's a very high burden on them, let's say, to perform, and that puts a lot of pressure which a lot of these guys won't have on themselves?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was in an interview with Cerberus, my new sponsor, and I was saying that Kalle Beck, that's the starting strongman, was doing videos on his predictions for the heats, and he mentioned me and all that, but he did not put me in top 3.
So what would you like to say to Kalle Beck about that?
I want to think. I don't care. I just that helps me rather than the opposite.
So it inspires you. It's interesting.
I mean, yeah, it takes all the pressure off.
Yeah.
And I have nothing to lose but everything to gain.
So in this competition, what would you consider a good placing or a good finish for you? What are you trying to get out of this competition?
I want to get to the finals, but my main goal is to finish at least in second or third in the group, so I will get to battle it out in the stones.
And obviously, coming from Iceland, where Hafthor is obviously from as well, what does it mean to the Icelandic people to have the world's strongest man in their country?
I think it matters in a way a lot to us, because after the I would say around 2005 maybe, we always had a guy competing from us, I think pretty much every year, but since Magnus won in '96, it didn't look like we were going to have a champion again. The sport had changed, more nations were participating, and they were getting heavier and heavier. And I'm not taking anything away from John Paul or Magnus by that. They were competing in a strong field as well in events that were hard for everyone back then. But it's evolved, of course, and so to Stefan Solvik got close. He got up to 4th place a few years, about I don't remember the year exactly, 2010, 11, yeah. 11 probably. And then Hafthor comes up when Stefan has to step aside because of some injuries. And there was actually, I mean, I have strong confidence in him as a strongman, but it took so long to get that first bloody title. He
That's right.
It for so many years.
That's it.
Finishing half a point behind and stuff like that. So I was thrilled when he finally got it. He deserved it, and he deserves more of them. But spending so much time getting up to that first one, it's a matter of how much time he's willing to invest in the other titles.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, if he wants to break the record of who has the most titles, that's going to take full 5 more years.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
That's an investment.
Yeah, and I think it's possibly harder now to do it than what it was in the days.
When Puts did it, yeah, it's definitely harder now. Not taking anything away from him either. We that are interested in the sport and follow it, we know that it was a bit split up back then for a few of his titles, but he was a phenomenal strongman nonetheless. But I think I was kind of hoping at one point that Shaw would do it, even though I wanted Thor to be winning at that time. But it's going to be fun to see how it goes. I personally think, not taking anything away from anyone else, but I think Thor is. I think he's going to win this year.
Yeah, I can't see anybody on paper close, but then in the sport of strongman, you just never know.
No, you never know. There's injuries, there's mistakes and stuff like that, but given it that he doesn't injure himself or make mistakes, he's the guy to look at, I think. We have guys that are going to try, of course, obviously try, and have maybe some shot at it. At least it's Kilokovsky.
Yep.
Alexiv is as well.
Novikov, yep.
Novikov is there's a big question mark there.
Although
Shaw is of course a 4-time champion. You don't rule that guy out.
You do have to wonder with the first two events being the monster truck pull and the yoke and carry, it's going to possibly favour the bigger guys with a bit more body weight.
It's going to be a fine line between the bigger guys and the guys that recover the fastest, and I actually see that benefiting Hafthor in that way, because even though he's huge, he's in phenomenal overall.
So you've got the Icelandic record for the bench press?
Yeah, I have the all-time record for the bench press. I did 360 kilos back in Las Vegas in 2011.
Does that make you a great log presser, or does it help?
Not necessarily, but I believe I've managed to develop that pressing strength into the overhead press. I mean, I'm not the strongest presser, but I've done 207 log in training. I just missed the 215. I really wanted to go to elites, so when I didn't get an invite, I trained walk for Max on Saturday, the same day, and they were hitting 214 out there, so I went for 215 in training, and I just missed it.
Wow!
But that's how it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm good for it. I know that, I mean, I've strict pressed 180 kilos. I've done 200 axle in training. So most pressing other than dumbbell suit me pretty well. I don't call that pressing, I call it catch and release. You're throwing it and grabbing it.
Oh, okay.
You can see some of the strong guys like Sigfus, they actually press it
a
little bit, but when Ari Gunnarsson back home does some pressing as well, but it is throwing and catching. And it takes phenomenal strength, but I don't want to call it the pressing you want though.
So you basically get the dumbbell and you explode it into the air with it and
try to get those legs in there, the leg drive. You use the leg drive and everything, but in that one you try to grab it at lockout, not like a push press.
So if we look at this, we've obviously got the log for reps or dumbbell for reps.
I get the log. I was pretty happy with that.
Okay, so you've got the log. So you've got to wonder with the guys with the leg strength, that event's coming the day after. You've got the heavy yoke and farmers. Is that enough time to recover?
Not fully. Also, I think that monster truck pull is going to be a little bit of a wild card. You know, they're not that heavy. They're only 15 tons, I think, total. But I don't know if they're going to have rope between the two cars, or if they're going to have a metal stick. That's going to make a lot of difference. Yeah,
and you always have the rolling resistance as well. The conditions of the road.
You'll have there. You're going to have 4 axles with very tough tires.
Yep.
So that it might actually be harder than they plan, but maybe not. It's going to be really hard to realize that. It's a 25 meter. I'm kind of hoping they would say 20 this morning.
Yep.
But 25 it is, and then that crazy super yoke after that.
Yeah.
I think the leg drive is going to be a little bit tired in the log the following morning. So,
absolutely.
So I think good pressing strength is going to give you a long way there.
So you think the guys are going to be hitting every recovery method known to mankind after day one?
Probably twice. So yeah, it's going to be. I mean, this is one of the aspects I'm trying to get out of coming here. I want to learn. And, I mean, we're competing obviously in a lot of heat, and I come from Iceland, which in itself explains a lot, maybe.
So